Guys, what made you realize this girl is definitely not into me? I once went on a date with this girl, bought her dinner, went downstairs to the bar/nightclub for a drink afterwards. She ran into some girlfriends and just went over to their table, sat down and started chatting and drinking. I sat alone for about 20 minutes, then just left without saying anything. Never heard from her again. I can't imagine what I would do in this situation for 20 minutes. That's so rude of her. Had a dinner together, and the entirety of her contributions to the conversation were repetitions of "yep, that's cool" and such. Even when I tried to ask her questions and engage her in the conversation, she just had nothing to add or to say. Was pretty clear it wasn't sparking. She really only talked to me when she needed something. Went to her apartment. Then I helped her with Tinder. I went to a chick's apartment once, and she had another girlfriend of hers over, and they spent a good amount of time rating dudes on Bumble, and proceeded to get about 50 matches in the 1.5 hours I was there. I was like, WTF am I doing here? Then got drunk, and left via Uber. That's about as well as that cold have gone by the sounds of it. When every conversation is abruptly ended by lol. When she used to give everyone hugs, but only ever offered me a high five. Maybe because you live in a village and she's into city boys. After chatting for about a month, I asked her out for the second time. Wanna meet up and hang out somewhere? Yeah. I'd like to meet. Cool. So are you free this day on this week? No. How about another day next week? No. So maybe the week after? Or after that? No. Can't. Okay. So when can we meet? Let me check and get back to you. 10 months. 4 days and 5 hours since then, and I still haven't heard from her. I went out to a restaurant/bar with 4 buddies. Some ladies sent over a round of drinks to my 4 buddies. I'm guessing they must have specifically told the waiter give every one of those strangers a drink, except Quasimodo in the corner there. Make sure he is painfully aware that he does not get a drink. When I expressed interest and she recoiled in horror and told me I was embarrassing her. Close D responses to leading or intuitive chatter, e.g. just saying yes, no, not really, etc. when asked questions that could easily lead to more conversation. The sad thing is my boyfriend in high school was like that with me because he liked me so much he got nervous and couldn't figure out what to say. My partner started out great. We'd have amazing long conversations when we were friends. All of that changed now, and I usually get those short cool, nice, that's good answers when I talk about the stuff that I'm achieving. I get way more communication from my dogs than my partner, and honestly, I'm thinking it's time for me to move on. Edit. I have spoken about this a couple of times, and if I don't see any change by the end of the year, I'm going to just end it. My achievements mainly involve my academics. I've been doing so well in my engineering courses and am looking into PhD programs. IDK, maybe it's boring or uninteresting. Just kinda sucks to be so happy about my success and be met with such close-ended remarks. When they couldn't remember any conversation we previously had and made the excuse that their phone's text history resets every day. Didn't take a rocket surgeon to figure out she deleted them herself. I have my phone set this way due to privacy concerns regarding my work. It's a real thing. That probably doesn't help in your situation though. When she asked me if I knew if my friend was interested in anybody, I was only just starting to maybe have a crush on her, so it didn't hurt. But like, definitely wasn't pleasant lol. Yeah, I had something like that happen to me. A girl messaged me and was like, so I have a question. And I was like, what's up? And she said, okay, I hope this isn't weird, but it's just been on my mind. And then after a little bit she texts, is Larry single? He wasn't. When you go in for a hug and she gives you the side hug. A classmate figured out another classmate and I were sleeping together because I give every woman the one-armed side hug, and I gave her a bear hug and picked her up. She thought we would start making out right there, so our secret was out. Anyway, She ended up being the worst ducking person I ever met. Wait one damn second. Don't play with my dick like that. Finish the story. Lol. Asked a girl if she wanted to grab lunch together sometime. She said she was busy that day, which was interesting as I never specified a day. We set up a date. She stood me up. When I asked her, she simply said she forgot. Been there, except she didn't even respond when I asked. Gave a girl at work my number on a piece of paper and she handed it right back and said we talk at work all the time, so let's keep doing that. That sucks. But gotta give it to her. She ripped off the band-aid fast. No ambiguity in that rejection. I was thinking the same. Better than just ghosting him. Straight up and to the point. Not rude either. Just honest. We flirted for several weeks. Hung out every day. I kept feeling a closer and closer connection, but due to circumstances I could not control, we were never alone enough together for me to test it. Had some friends plan a camping trip and I invited her, and she said yes. I even specifically told her there's gonna be 2 couples there, so we are gonna be in a tent, just the 2 of us. She said yeah, she knows. Get to the trip. We have a few drinks and I ask her if she wants to take a walk with me to look at stars. I get it. It's corny. Shut up. Once we are a little away from everyone, I tell her how much I like her and attempt to go in for a kiss. Nope. Sorry, chips can't quizo. I'm not what you're looking for, shattered me. Utterly gutted. Asked her to senior prom. She said yes, but when we got there she ditched me to hang out with another guy she liked. Wasn't too bad though, cause I danced with another girl who I got along better with. Man, I always feel so bad for people like this. My senior prom. I had my friend who liked my former best friend. He never explicitly said, and they went to prom together. Literally an hour into prom. And she's making out with a dude in the ballroom while they're slow dancing. My friend went outside and just danced the whole night away to the band outside. We joined him because it was so much more fun and less hectic outside. I thought my former best friend had done such a huge bitch move. The guy she was with she had liked since our sophomore year of high school. It was just so messed up. Ouch. Well, I skipped my senior prom because no one would go with me, and I figured why pay for a ticket, rent a tuxedo, and drive to the prom just to go stand around with a bunch of people who don't want to dance with me. Back in college, I took a girl on a lunch date. We had a really nice time. When it was getting time to leave, I told her I had to get to work. She said, "Where do you work?" I said McDonald's, and I literally could see her attitude shift in 1 second. Oh, cool. So as I'm driving her home, I said, "So can we hang out again?" She replies, "Yeah, totally." So the next day I text and ask if she wants to hang. She never responded. Her mistake. She could be getting Big Macs and chicken nuggets all the time. Are those code words for his penis? I'm not sure where this chick expected a college kid to work at. Yeah, I'm the lead engineer at Microsoft. Just getting retrained in office management at this community college for fun. Stopped texting first and realized that she never texted me for 3 days. It was totally one-sided. Nothing I hate more than a one-sided relationship, even with friends. And sadly I'm sure I'm guilty of it too without even realizing. I noticed that I was always the first to start texting one of my friends, so I stopped. It's their turn to start now. Haven't heard from them in months. I said, "Hello," and she just looked at me with a blank stare. "Would you like to have a date?" I'd rather not, and that was that. We spent the day together. Slept together. She told me she loved me, then ducked her coworker at her Christmas party that evening. Can I have time to think about it? Then nothing. Radio silence for like a month. Next time we talked, it's as if that moment never happened. I've had every rejection under the sun used on me. Laughter. A straight up no. Coming up with an excuse halfway through the date to leave. Being ghosted. It's not you, it's me, etc. One even claimed that she liked me, but her parents didn't approve of me, so nothing could happen. Only to find out later that her parents actually thought I was great and would repeatedly ask her about me. In that case, I think she just wanted sex and nothing more, which I should have seen from the start. But that one, can I have time to think about it? Damn. I'm over it now, but I'll never forget how much it hurt. I've heard them all. I like you as a friend. I think we should see other people. I know speak English. I'm married to the sea. I don't wanna kill you, but I will. At a bar with some friends, my boy John starts trying to chat up this girl and her friends. I approach and try to wingman. This girl makes hard eye contact and says, well, it was great meeting you guys. I, of course, say likewise and drag off John to go explain to his dumbus how to recognize when girls are politely telling you to duck off. I asked for her number and she offered to give me her email address instead. If you were a stranger, that's not unreasonable. I only give my number to doctors, family, and friends. Just because someone went to college for a couple of extra years doesn't make them better than me. We had been fooling around for a bit, and I had hopes of pursuing a relationship. She knew I had an app that I wouldn't be using that summer, college, and she needed a place to store some things. After a date, I brought her back to my place for the first time and she quietly said, "This will do nicely," and I had a realization that I had been played. She stored her stuff for a bit, and I have barely seen her since. I had a realization that I had been played. She stored her stuff for a bit. Also, I have to tell this because it's hilarious, and I know for a fact it's true. A girl I know was dating a guy who turned out to be married. The wife found out, but stayed with the husband. So the guy gets in a car accident and the side chick girl calls to see if he's okay. The dude tells her he has amnesia and doesn't remember her, and has with his wife now. Homeboy done said he got amnesia to get rid of the side chick. The ol' getting in a car accident and faking amnesia to get rid of someone can only use that one once. Man, I laughed so hard when she told us this. I asked if a big safe fell on his head like Herman Munster. Dude really went for it by faking amnesia. The teacher assigned my crush to dance with me. She screamed no and chose another guy at it. I'll give more context. So this was our graduation trip, and it's the last day of it. It was compulsory that everyone chose a partner of the opposite sex to dance with. Me having a crush on her was quite well known in my class, so all of them, including my teacher, suggested that I dance with her, and of course she refused and chose another random dude. I had to find another girl from another class that I never even talked to. Feel so bad, man. Shit, that brings up memories. Whole class had to slow dance for a school play rendition of Anastasia. Everyone pawned me off to some other girl, and the girl I finally ended up with was obviously not thrilled either. I ended up faking illness, so I had a reason to miss the entire school play. Ouch. Your story brings up memories too. I was finally dancing with my high school crush. It was great. Then I look over and happen to see his group of friends giving him the cut it out hand signals at the neck. Not sure what to call this movement. Lol. But he just looked at all of them and walked away from me, leaving me alone. I was so hurt and embarrassed, but I acted like I didn't notice. She kept talking about how she needed more commitment from me. Relationship had turned long distance. I was paying for the travel and doing the majority of the traveling. I was the one that had moved away. Sustained it for about a year. But I just realized that she wasn't into me enough to take what she perceived as a risk in moving 5-hour drive away from her family. Never spoke about her needing to show commitment to me. Think what finally did it was when she got a raise to similar to what I was making, and I brought up her starting to contribute to the travel costs. And she laughed like it was a joke. I clarified I was serious, and she brushed it off. Nope. I'm out. Stuck around longer than I should have. Was her first serious relationship, which in retrospect I think was a big factor in some of the immaturity. I mean, if I'm talking to a girl and she doesn't make eye contact and answers with one-word answers, my default assumption is that they don't want to talk to me. She gave me a thin paper wristband she has made which said the wristband of friendship. Edit. Holy shit, this blew up. Thank you for the kind words. S. And awards, but please don't spend your precious money on me. You guys made my day anyways. Unless the girl directly says to me I'm into you, or some variation, I will assume, by default, that they are not into me. I just assume by default that people do not like me when they are nice and warm to me. I assume that's out of their courtesy. I assume I suck too much to have anyone feel that way towards me, so they're just being nice. By the way, I'm not depressed or anything. To the guy who was worried for my mental health, thanks for your concern, but I'm fine. I only assume I suck when it comes to other people's views of me in terms of love and stuff. In almost every other aspect I think I'm pretty okay. Made a few errors in judgment as a kid, got rejected, and figured out the difference between friendly and flirty. She said I'm not ready to be in a relationship, and proceeds to get into a relationship. RIP me. I hope she's happy though. I really do. When I feel like I have to constantly be the one that has to start the conversation, that it takes so long for them to answer, or worse that they sometimes don't answer at all, I can sometimes get the conversation going again in that last case. But if it happens 2 or 3 more times, I'm usually done. It's pretty clear to me. Other cases she shows a clear interest to someone else, or starts dating someone else, and this has happened to me so many times. I guess I'm not that good at online chatting / texting, or not interesting at all, or that I don't know when it's time to be more direct. Just take the hint from the first or second time. It'll make you feel better. It did to me at least, and after I stopped wasting time on those who I didn't have a chance with, I found a person who I'm still in a relationship with 7 months later. She began to become very confusing and unclear. At first I thought it was normal for girls to be this way, but with time and perspective I realized she just didn't like me anymore, and felt too bad to let me know, though she did say it after I confronted her. It sucked. It broke me. And it still hurts. If you're ever put in a situation where you don't like someone anymore, just be direct about it. Not a girl, a guy. He wanted to call me on Discord, and once I got over the anxiety bit of it, we called. It started out pretty well, and then his sibling came in. They started talking, and he went on Snapchat. Then he suddenly called his friend and just started talking to her as I sat there in disbelief. I don't know if he was into me, but it sure didn't seem like it. I don't remember how we ended up talking, but I ended up asking her out to dinner, and she said yes. We went, ordered our food and ate. The entire time she was on her phone. So I just paid my bill and left. 10 or 15 minutes after I left, she started blowing up my phone. Not to ask where I was, but to demand why I didn't pay for her food. I just responded by blocking her. Edit. Everyone calm the duck down, Jesus Christ. Don't give me awards. They don't do anything. Instead, please gift the money to a charity. That way it'll actually help something. Okay, that made my morning. Lol. Seriously though, how rude to just be on your phone the whole time during a date, as if just showing up was doing you a favor. Probably thought I'll just play on my phone and get a free dinner out of it. Some people. Unfortunately, I had a roommate who bragged about doing that. On top of that, every time she'd tell us about a boyfriend she was seeing, we'd end up having to tell the dude that within the first week of meeting him, that she'd brought home 3 new guys. She stopped telling us about her boyfriends. We stopped talking to her entirely. Yeah, I'd be shocked at how many girls said they were into me after they started dating someone else. I totally had a thing for you. Wish you had asked me out. Lol. Yeah, well, I'm not good at hints. My high school crush confessed to me years later. She asked me why I didn't try to date her. I said, you were dating gangsters and I like to live a long and healthy life. Asked a girl out, and she said I can't, it's my girlfriend's and I 2-month anniversary, she is straight BTW. When she started planning her wedding with someone else, she was my GF when it all happened. When all her replies were one word. If it gets to that point, I just stop talking to them now. not a guy. But I was in a club and wanted to go to the bathroom. He kept pulling me back into his lap. I tried to explain and he wouldn't listen. So I peed in his lap. Great. Now he thinks you marked your territory. I used to work with 2 girls in an auto shop years ago. Was really into one of them. I asked her out. She said maybe another time and I let it go. But still had hope. A few weeks later I had to come back to work as I'd forgotten my wallet. The 2 women that worked there were passionately making out. I then realized that as a lesbian this girl was quite penis averse and my hopes of another time were quickly dashed into oblivion. When after a year of relationship she said I don't love you anymore. Yeah, that may be it. Look on the bright side. At least she didn't waste 25 years of your life hoping you can make it work to get divorced in the end. When, after I got her number and were texting regularly for several days, she refused to go out with me because I'm too put together to be single and I must be cheating on my wife and kids. I told her that I'm single, never married, and have 0 kids. She followed that up by accusing me of being a serial killer. I also don't eat cereal. Blocked me on every social media account after I mustered up the courage to ask her if she wanted to grab a bite to eat. Self-confidence was already at an all-time low and that was the nail on the coffin. When I invited her to go see Avatar in theaters and she agreed, but invited her ex-husband along. She's my wife now, but at the time I was like yeah, I've been friend-zoned into oblivion. When she said I see you more as a friend. In my case, when we hang out, I tried so damn hard to entertain, to keep the flow of the conversation. She was just focused on other stuff and seems distant. I asked a girl I really fancied out in primary school once. I was about 9 and 10, as well as saying no. She gave me a whole list of reasons why. She didn't like my hair. I was weird etc. On one hand this was brilliant, because I got over her instantly. On the other hand it ducked me up a bit, because I've assumed in the 20 years since that all girls feel the same. I dated a girl in high school once for about 6 months, and she very randomly broke it off. I demanded to know why, like an idiot. Her friend thought I was ugly, kinda confusing, very hurtful. She looked me in the eyes and said, in a very clear voice, I'm not into you. Much better way to handle it than the girl whop just cheated on me. I was on a date where the girl's mom obviously made her go. We were family friends and my long-term girlfriend had just left me, so they felt bad for me. I figured I could give it a shot and maybe she'd start to like me. Halfway through the date she starts talking about a party she went to where she went skinny dipping in a lake and let multiple guys pull a train on her. I didn't even know how to react, let alone how to keep pursuing her. I got brother zoned in high school. We were texting and she said I really like you. You're just like the older brother I've always wanted. My dumbass focused on the first sentence. My best friend was her best friend's boyfriend. He eventually told me to quit trying. 10 years later I found out it's because she likes girls and we are both very happy with our respective partners. When she started making out with the guy sitting next to me. I'm learning that my GF doesn't really like me that much from this thread lol. Someone said that she and I would make a cute couple. She turned up her nose and called me grotesque. Holy shit. That's terrible. It's definitely for the best that nothing happened. She seems awful lol. Tried to kiss her. WH, what are you doing? She invited me as her date to a New Year's party. It was midnight. Told a girl, who I thought was super into me, that I liked her and she told me she has a boyfriend. She started talking about how she was interested in another guy. Pretty clear and harmful way. I was interested in a guy and he started a loud conversation near me, not with me, about all the things he found attractive in a girl, all the exact opposite of my attributes, height, hair color, etc. It was kinda crushing, but at least I didn't have to deal with it head on. I married the opposite of my type. I actually think it's a really good thing. I'm a total sucker for all of the things I find attractive in a girl. The fact that she is none of those things lets us both know that it's her that I'm into, and not her haircut, etc. This dumb kid I knew drove all the way to Florida to bail some girl out of jail so that her parents wouldn't find out she had been arrested. It was an 18-hour drive, and when he got her out of jail she asked him to pick up her boyfriend. They drove home together all the way back to Indiana in complete silence. Also, it was me. When she slept with my friend, and then a different friend. Pretty sure she's single with a kid from each of them, but I think she wanted kids, so guess she's happy, and I dodged a bullet. When I asked her out, she immediately got back with her ex, who she used to complain to me about all the time. Married him and had 2 kids. I think I might still have a shot. When the conversations just end abruptly online, like an NPC character interaction. I don't mean like a random DM, but a person you know fairly well. The chat chemistry is just sort of dead. Generally when she refers to us as best mates or, worse, as the brother she wishes her brother was. Kissing her she's just a friend, when she thought I wasn't looking. We're actually really good friends now, and is my unofficial personal stylist is the term I think. She helps me pick out clothes, so I don't look like a nerdy southern redneck. I'm all those things, but at least I look like a responsible adult and professional. I once chatted with a girl for several days, about a month. Everything was fine. Good vibes all the time. Then one day she told me I hope we both know we are just friends and nothing else. I said sure, no problem, and kept her as a friend. She suddenly stopped chatting with me and unfollowed me on Instagram and TW. I went to pick her up for our date and she didn't return my text. I got to her house and asked her mom where she was, and she was asleep. For those who are still not sure, check out this link. b/Zaphora_91 video. I couldn't tell, but those were some fine ass stick figures. I had a girl invite me to senior prom, and then when I got there she was with someone else. They laughed at me and asked, "You thought I was serious? Who could possibly like someone like you?" It was my birthday. We were both single. We were a bit intoxicated. We checked into a hotel but all she let happen was spoon lol. But every single time I have a girlfriend this girl never stops throwing herself at me. Such an unsolved mystery. Edit, not mystery. She just liked flattering herself by making me talk to her whenever I was in a relationship. Dated this girl for about a month. You know how you put your arm around someone and they just naturally lean into you? Yeah, she never did that. I don't expect that on a first date. But after a couple of weeks of seeing each other I was expecting some kind of response to me. Oh. She told me she liked me, but how she acted was completely different. The moment was when we were at a concert. I was jumping up and down and yelling and singing. I looked over at her and she was standing there rigid as a pole. Asked her if she was having a good time and she said yes. I'm a girl, but I guess I'd jump on this. He said I don't need to talk to you every day. We talk only when necessary. Hey, thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe.